All right, what is up, everyone? It is episode 2121 of fucking Your House Our Rules, the sports podcast. I don't know why I just did that because 21 Savage sucks.
2021.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're 2 years past that. So anyway, we're gonna start splitting things up a little bit in the sports podcast. We're gonna start doing, like a recap rundown type thing on one day, and then do our pick'ems the other day to get like more short form content, hit what people really want to see or what is going to draw people in till we get there. Things may advance from here, but for right now, this is what we're doing. We got up here in the top left corner, we got, our picks that we did months ago. As we talked about in the last episode, we did the entire introspective season, going through the whole Super Bowl playoffs and everything, did the whole season like in June. And now we're getting to it, and we're going to go week by week on what we saw in the NFL and compare it to this a little bit. And our spreads that we picked the week of. So we're going to start off with the Eagles and Minnesota game. It was a really good game depending on how you looked at it. I know some people were like, it wasn't as close. They got garbage time touchdowns, but Kirk Cousins actually had the top QBR in the entire NFL this past week. And he looked good. It's just the Eagles looked a little bit better. So, yeah, what are we kind of thinking on this one?
I mean, you kind of hit it on the head with your garbage time touchdowns, but I mean, still, they almost rallied to come back. The Eagles were definitely playing off a little bit at that point. Mm-hmm. But when you throw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns, that's Kirk Cousins, though. Still didn't get the win. Yeah. Obviously, Justin Jefferson went off. But the biggest issue right now with the Vikings, their front seven's performing. I think they had like 3 sacks or something like that.
No run game.
No run game. Yeah, and they can't figure that out. So, like, with no balance, it's just really difficult to be a consistent team. I wasn't high on the Vikings coming in. I think that's going to be something that sinks them if they can't figure it out. And then talking about the Eagles are fantastic. I don't think their offense is even clicking yet, but they've just got so much talent.
See, I actually
they haven't impressed me yet.
I actually said the opposite to Sigmund. I just think the Eagles have so many fucking weapons. Like, Kirk Cousins was throwing dimes on fucking the defense, and the defense did not look all that good, in my opinion. First quarter, they did, and you can talk about turnovers or whatever. They had 3 turnovers in the first half, but a lot of them were just, like, guys fumbling the fucking ball and shit like that.
Yeah.
And a bad pass early in the first from Cousins, and then after that, he turned it on. Like, there's a difference between turnovers and forced turnovers, and I felt like none of those turnovers were actually forced. When your offense isn't really on the field in the first, and they go up, like, 21-0, and then you end up coming back to make it a 7-point game. I thought that they looked good. Vikings defense looked good in the first, in my opinion, but the trailed off there at the end. I know I even said it in the group chat, and Stolzy was like, they don't look so good anymore. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with the Vikings and Eagles.
The whole like thing with the Vikings though is like, so I put a live bet in with 3 minutes or 9 minutes left in the third quarter. That because the live line was Vikings -6, and they were down 13 points. And I was like, they're going to get the ball back. They're still going to be down 13 with 4 minutes left, and Kirk's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, like, he ended up scoring before that. But it just seemed the entire time like the Eagles were okay with being up 13 points. And if the Vikings were going to go down, kick a field goal, they had a feeling that they were going to be able to move the ball down and answer those points again. So it never felt like they were trying to even show anything. The Eagles weren't. Like, they were just trying to get through that game. They knew they had it in the bag, and we're just like, let's get out of here healthy.
Yeah. Going back to what I thought about the offense, too, I think their offense has so many fucking weapons, it's absolutely ridiculous. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Swift in the backfield. Gainwell was out, who I picked up on waivers the other week. Hurts is a guy who can pass the ball and beat you on his feet. Plus, the number one, they're the best O-line in the fucking league, and I think they only had one player that's changed since the last year. I mean, the offense is just absolutely stupid. So I think that the Eagles are definitely the top contender next to the 49ers in the NFC right now. So yeah, might be Dallas, but I don't know. Dallas is kind of beat up on fucking 2 shitty teams.
I didn't know you were even. I was like, he ain't even going to mention Dallas.
I mean,
but yeah, Dallas is looking really good.
Let's talk about it,
but they're playing 2 shitty teams. So,
real quick, let's talk about the big picture NFC, because like we all agree those are the 3 teams, right?
Yeah.
So
actually,
out of
the
those,
NFC
out of
East,
those 3,
listen, the NFC East, fucking everyone, they're 7-1 in the first 2 games, and the only loss was the Giants losing in the division to the Cowboys. They're completely undefeated. So yeah, continue.
Right, but the Giants aren't going to be a top 3 team by the end of the year, I don't think. So with those being our top 3 teams, like let's look at the quarterbacks. So is Jalen number 1 or is Jalen number 3? Because I can't decide. Same thing with Brock Purdy.
It's not fucking Dak. Oh, you're talking about in the entire NFC?
Yeah,
I'm
like
taking Jalen.
who's the best quarterback out of those 3, and who's the worst one?
I don't think it's
I
Brock
think
Purdy.
Jalen is the higher ceiling
Correct,
for
but
sure.
Yeah.
but where they're at right now,
And then you start getting into stuff too. Like, what do you mean quarterback? Like passing quarterback? Because if we're talking passing quarterback, it's Kirk Cousins, in my opinion.
It's all stats.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we're not even talking Vikings. I don't think Vikings
overrated.
are a real threat to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't either. But we're talking about quarterback.
No.
Quarterback.
I thought he just said
we'll never agree on
top
we'll
three
never agree on Kirk Cousins being a good an
he was
elite quarterback.
He was talking about top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC.
I thought he was saying
And Kirk
top
Cousins
3,
is
like,
not one of them.
I thought he was saying of the 3 teams we said, Eagles, Cowboys, Niners, which one of those is the better quarterback?
Kirk Cousins is not a top 3 NFC quarterback.
I don't
Regardless,
know.
if we're talking just if we're talking just
We were
top
just
NFC
talking the 3
quarterback,
teams with their quarterbacks.
Oh, those 3
the top
teams?
3. Yeah, because outside of that, there's not going to be there's probably not going to be any other teams outside of those 3.
Okay, so I heard it wrong.
January.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
but my point was, I don't know who the best is and who the worst is. It's like they're all kind of like in the same area.
It's not Dak.
No, I agree. It's not Dak.
Yeah, it's not Dak.
But can you say that Purdy is better than Dak right now?
Yeah.
No, and also I don't think the way Dak's in this unique position where he knows all I got to do is not play stupid. His defense is carrying him right now. His offense has weapons.
Can you imagine
So
if
we'll
Zach
see what
Wilson
happens
felt
when
like
the
that?
game is on his shoulders.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but let's move on from the Vikings and Eagles game. We kind of touched on the Dallas game a little bit. Next, we got the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers looking good, 2-0. That's about all I have to say about that one. We'll move on.
Same.
Yeah,
Go Boomer.
Yeah,
Go Boomer.
yeah. I'll
Let's
also
move on.
say that fucking a lot of people who are Chicago fans are like out on Justin Fields at this point, and it's kind kind of looking like everybody should be.
If you bet on Justin Fields MVP preseason, delete your Twitter. Stop making sports takes. It's not worth it. This ain't for you.
No.
You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah. But let's move on. We had Green Bay and Atlanta, and I saw someone post some stuff today that this was the week where it was good to be losing in the first half because there were so many comebacks. Green Bay had a pretty hefty lead on that one, and Atlanta, I think it was 11 points, and then Atlanta came back. You know, Atlanta's run game is looking really good. Their defense is looking all right. And then the one thing that I think Atlanta has a chance to be this like really complete package if they can just get some of their receivers who we know are good like into the game a little bit more. So yeah. So Stolzy, what did you see?
I've been kind of high on the Falcons, right? Like I'm obsessed with Bijan. Like I picked Bijan as my offensive player of the year. And I think Desmond Ritter's kind of in the same boat as, like, who are we just talking about? The don't fuck it up. Dak.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's kind of in that same position. Like, he's got so many pieces around him that he can work with, and yet Kyle Pitts doesn't get receptions.
Yeah.
Or even targets, and they're winning football games. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and the Falcons in general just fascinate me, how they move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Desmond Ridder, like, if you watch him throw, like, he's super hesitant. He doesn't, like, trust himself to fit the ball into small little windows and shit like that. It's like, I don't understand how they're moving the ball. And they're putting up, like, 23, 24 points a game.
Well, it's because they got fucking three really, really good running backs. Yeah.
Yeah, brand new wheels.
Yeah. Just keep on fucking jam it down their fucking throat. So, yeah.
I mean, that's credit to their offensive line, man.
Yeah, their O-line's really good too. But watching Bijan literally like just take tiny little juke moves and people are dropping to the floor over and over again, and then you put in Algier and he's pounding it right up the middle. Did you not even to mention Cordarrelle Patterson, who was their leading rusher last year?
Yeah,
he's closer to a slot receiver at this point.
Yeah, and that's the versatility of he's always been like that. You know.
Did you see?
Credit to Arthur Smith for truly unlunlocking that man's potential because he's been good everywhere.
Yeah, he was in the backfield wearing number 84 in Green Bay.
Oh, I didn't even notice the number.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on from that one a little bit and go to the Indianapolis fucking Texans game. All I have to say is if you need if you got a defensive bye week in this game, bet against the Texans. take whoever's playing the Texans.
Them being out two safeties really hurt them. Also, Anthony Richardson is looking mature, but he's got an injury in week 1 and a concussion in week 2. This is what happens when you're running with no regard to yourself at this level of the game where everyone's faster and everyone's stronger. It ain't high school. It ain't college. He needs to learn to protect himself, or his career is not going to last long. But he does look good. That should be stated.
Yep.
Also, credit to Minshew. I've always loved Minshew and his swag. Minshew Mania came in and did what he had to do to get the win. So,
hell yeah. All right, and then
if you're a GM, don't ever draft an Ohio State quarterback. Moving on.
Right. Joe Burrow's technically an Ohio State quarterback. I actually did see a stat. That's exactly what I said. I saw a stat on Twitter today that said Joe Burrow, Stroud, and Justin Fields, and said don't judge season. I was like, technically, Joe Burrow never really played for the Ohio State. I mean, he was on the team, but he never started. So
You
whatever.
motherfuckers didn't know what you had, and you can't claim him now that he's gone.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He's the white
For
elephant.
sure.
Like,
I agree with you. But Seahawks Detroit, this was a lot of people had this as the game of the week, one of the overtime games, which there were almost 3 overtime games this week, but we'll get to it a little bit. Russ Wilson did Russell Wilson things, so you know,
cooking.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff being said about this. You know, we got to a game. I think that the Seahawks were up, and then the Detroit came back. I don't know. There were a lot of games on at the 1 p.m. that it was hard to follow all of them.
Yeah,
but it ended up going
Seahawks were up most of it.
Ended up going into overtime, and apparently Geno had like a nearly perfect drive to put the Lions out. So, yeah.
I'm happy to see it because week 1 looked bad. But yeah, they look really good, which the Seahawks, another team that before the season, you know,
we were all high
for
on
them to be great.
Yeah, we were all
so
high
I do think they're going to – that was a good sign because the Lions are a good team. They're not perfect at all. But Geno Smith, when he's working, it's impressive. That offense is loaded. I mean, you could argue that their top 3 receivers are number 2 or number 3 in the league.
Yeah, true. You got anything to say on it, Stolzy?
No, I think all year long Seattle's going to be that one team in the league that I'm not going to be able to figure out.
Yeah,
like I think they're going to be.
I agree, especially in the
9
division
and 8,
that they
8
play.
and 9.
Yeah,
it's like they're going to win random games and they're going to lose games that they should win.
Right.
And I just have a feeling I'm not going to be able to figure them out.
Right.
That's probably the Lions too, though. I mean, the Lions might be slightly better. I think they have more talent, but
Lions
have a
clearly
10-win
win roster.
Yeah.
I agree.
A lot of people are questioning Montgomery right now. I know he got hurt in this game, but for some reason I've been hearing a lot of people saying that Montgomery's not going to be quite the back that everyone was talking him being. So
good. Enter Jahmyr Gibbs. He's better anyway.
Give Gibbs the rock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on from that one, we have Tennessee and the Chargers. Chargers, another team that a lot of people had winning some games that started out 0-2. They're probably going to put up some points. The only team to put up, I think it was over 50 points in the first 2 games and start out 0-2 with no turnovers. So that's a pretty interesting statistic. Titans, our fam down in Nashville, they ended up getting the win on that one. So congratulations to them. But yeah, man, it's kind of heartbreaking for the Chargers. So,
do you guys think
Chargers?
Do you guys think Brandon Staley's ass is on fire right now?
I was just gonna say, I don't know if he survives 8 weeks if they
I'm saying if he loses this week, get the fuck rid of him. Like he hasn't won a game since he blew the lead in the playoffs, and he admitted yesterday that he thinks about it every single day.
Yeah. Oh, that's living rent free. Every team's living rent free in your mind at that point. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you got to go. You're damaged goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's something's wrong. And the Chargers always seem to charge her, just like, the same thing they said about the Bengals for a year and the Lions. The Chargers fuck it up every year, whether it's injuries, it's always something. And they're too good. They're too loaded.
Well, you're
wasting Herbert prime rookie years, even though you got
wasting his rookie contract.
Let's give the teams that they played a little bit of credit. Miami definitely has a fucking stellar offense this year.
Absolutely.
McDaniels is great.
Close.
And I think the Titans are better than we really gave them credit for at the beginning of the year. So,
I also agree with that. And Vrabel's a hell of a coach. We've all said it.
I don't know if I'm ever going to take Tennessee to not cover their spread. Like, Vrabel's that good of a coach to where he's not going to lose by a touchdown very often.
Right.
As long as Tannehill plays within himself at age 34 or 5, they're good. They got too good of it. Their front seven's too good. They play disciplined defense and they run the ball down your throat. That's just a recipe to keep games tight, and potentially the ball bounces your way and you win. And credit to them, because it looked like the Chargers were going to drive down and win it, and Titans held tough and got the win. So.
Hell yeah. So let's move. We're gonna move past the Bengals. We're gonna get to cover that one at the end. Buffalo versus Las Vegas. That's our own
Brandon Staley situation.
Yeah, but Buffalo versus Las Vegas. Buffalo absolutely fucking creamed them. Josh Allen looked good. Didn't throw any interceptions. Their defense looked really good too. But they are also the Raiders. The Raiders have one win, and it's because they played the Broncos. So.
I was just about to say good stats versus a bad team.
Yep, yeah. So let's move on to that. Kansas City and Jacksonville. I kind of want to talk about this one a little bit because of just, low scoring game. Jacksonville's there. I've been saying it a lot. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is quite the quarterback everyone's making him out to be and is going to be the quarterback he's being made out to be. Chiefs have arguably a better defense this year than they did last year. They've been playing pretty good, but only scoring 9 points off 3 field goals for Jacksonville. We all had them winning this game last week. Jacksonville over the Chiefs. Chiefs got it together. Had some stuff going on. I know that tackle. I can't remember his name right now. They actually benched him.
Jawan Taylor.
Yeah,
right?
They benched him for like the first. Yeah, Jawan Taylor. They benched him for the first drive or something and put him back in, and he was still hopping the gun and stuff like that. But Mahomes looked back to form. They had some guys step up. Kelsey's back in the mix, so we might be back to the Chiefs that we all know and hate. So yeah, you guys got any comments on that one?
They still turned the ball over a shit ton. Mahomes threw a pick. They fumbled the ball twice. The Chiefs aren't impressing me either, man. The Jags had every opportunity to pull away 21-3.
I guess
they had so many opportunities.
I can hear Dalton right now being like, "It's fucking Jacksonville, bro. They do it every fucking year." I had a whole conversation with him about Jacksonville this year. He's like, "They're not going to do it." He's high.
Jacksonville got a playoff win.
Yeah, I know, but
they were in the AFC Championship game. What was that? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
2017, Jacksonville.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
I expected more out of this game with their head coach, who I highly respect, and they just had so much talent. Not to mention, it would be different if the Chiefs played a clean game, but giving 3 first-half turnovers and you don't capitalize, I think it was 7-3 at the end of the first half. You get one field goal off all that. No, that you can't do that against a great team. Sorry. And even though the Chiefs aren't looking great out the gate, they're still a great team. Same thing. It's just like us.
Yeah.
We're 0-2. Still a great team, great roster. Right. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, move on to the actual game of the week that I feel, in my opinion, was LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. We had kind of highlighted this one as that game that we didn't think that the Rams were going to win, but if they were to compete in this game, that we'd be like, damn, they're actually a contender. And right now, I think I got them as probably the wild card, the first wild card in the NFC as the Rams. Rams looked good in this game. McVay actually marched down the field and kicked a field goal to cover the fucking spread in this game. I don't know if you guys knew that. I don't know if you commented on it.
Yeah, but he didn't know the line.
Yeah, no, but yeah, this was a really good game. Stafford looked really good. There was just a lot of stuff. I think that this could have been a little bit more of a thing if we knew what the fuck Akers was doing. Apparently, he's just not playing once a contract, and they're talking about trading him now. But
that's exactly true.
I think it's Kareem Williams, or something like that. The guy who has stepped up in a big fucking way for the Rams. He's been throwing up some real good numbers the first 2 weeks of the NFL. I didn't get him on the waiver wire. Unfortunately, Hubbard did. So it is what it is. You guys got any comments about that?
I will give the Rams a 5th-round pick right now for Cam Akers. Let me know.
Oh, the Bengals?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that a little bit later in this. Serious. I wouldn't mind taking Cam Akers right now if we can get it, because I don't know if he just wants too much.
We need a second back.
And the thing is, we'll get into this a little bit later, but if Burrow's not going to be in, we need some backs. We need some backs.
He's on contract.
Yeah, so
it's...
Jack, you have any comments about that game?
I just want to shout out fucking Matt Stafford and Nakua and their connection right now. They look great.
Oh,
credit to Sean McVay.
Yeah,
I honestly, prior to the season, I was like, maybe McVay doesn't care as much anymore. He's out there coaching his ass off with a lesser team. Yeah, and he's competing with the best teams in the league, and that builds confidence.
And Puka Nakua, I know he got hurt in the game, but he has the most receptions out of any rookie receiver in the first 2 games. So, and he's shattered the record too. Fucking
imagine if they get a healthy cut back with a healthy Nakua, and what they'll be able to do with the way McVay schemes those motherfuckers open.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying that's exciting because I'm a Matt Stafford fan. Yeah. I don't mind the Rams except for they beat us.
That's the whole reason why I said the Rams can make the playoffs. Right. I was like, Matt Stafford, Sean McVay.
Is Stafford the oldest starting quarterback in the NFL right now? I feel like he is. I feel like
Tannehill
starting
right around there.
Oh, Tannehill. I forgot about Tannehill.
I think he is older than Tannehill, though. I think by at least a year.
He might.
I think Tannehill came in 2012. Stafford's 2010, something like that.
How old's Garoppolo? Like 33?
He's a little younger.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garoppolo is younger.
I want to say
he's
like
30s.
20.
He's in his 30s, I think.
Oh, well.
I would say he's 2013 or 2014 draft, something like that.
Anyway, we're moving on to New York and Arizona. Arizona losing. Now, I got to call fucking Sigmund out on this one a little bit, and a couple other people who said it. My dad benched Kirk Cousins this week in fantasy and started Daniel Jones, and I was like, what the fuck? And I texted my dad about it. I was like, you benched him after the fucking week that we had? Daniel Jones actually had the most fantasy points out of any quarterback, out of any player this week. And I don't know. Down big in the first, I think it was like 24-3 or something like that, and they came back and won the game. Daniel Jones looked pretty good, but again, you're playing the Cardinals, so fucking it is what it is. But fuck you, Sigmund. Don't talk shit about my family, bitch.
Yeah, no, your dad's got a sports almanac. That's what he's got. Yeah. He's got that's what he's seen the future. I'm calling him on it. I'm texting him right now. Be like, we need to talk,
dude. Hey, fucking. Well, the thing is, I was trying to explain to Sigmund. I was like, you need to understand, my dad has been fucking like a ball boy for the Bengals in the 80s and 70s and shit like that. Like, my dad's been around fucking football a long fucking time. And I was like, when he goes and sees that, Cousins is matched up against fucking one of the best defenses in the league, and Daniel Jones is matched up against arguably one of the worst, he might just have done it for that reason. And that's what he told me, but, it ended up working out for him, so can't hate on it. Yeah.
And just real quick, I think we said this in the chat, but, man, the Cardinals are playing their ass off, and I just respect that. They're not going anywhere. Yeah. They might finish with the first pick, and I'm sure they probably, in some level, that would obviously benefit them. But dude, they're playing their ass off.
They have 2-15.
Keep
right. Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I swear to God,
fucking bench
Kyler Murray.
When's he even coming back? Have they even said when he's like making a return?
Who knows who fucking
Josh Dobbs has looked good.
He has.
I thought Josh Dobbs was
did you see that? Did you see that play of him just streaking down the middle and fucking putting the wheels on, bro? Fucking throwing his shoulder into him.
Dude trying to tackle him.
Yeah, that's a Bulls boy, ain't it?
I was like, damn, man, that's a man who realizes this is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Let me show out. Maybe I get a bigger.
And the guy in front of him has a lot of drama around him. So yeah. But let's move on.
Do you think he yells? I got a bald head when he's running around the field?
Yeah. Stupid, dude.
Just dead sprint. I got a bald head.
Jesus Christ. Let's move on. We already talked about the Jets in Dallas. Zach Wilson, 0.3 or 30. I don't know how they do that, but like a 30 QBR, the worst out of anybody in the league this week. He fucking sucks. I had Breece Hall in fantasy. I waited to see if he'd start, and he put up 9 fucking yards. So just a pitiful game. Dallas, unfortunately, looks good. You're still losing 49 games this year, Dallas.
I don't think I'm starting anyone against Dallas's D until I see something.
No, I probably won't either, to be honest with you. Washington versus Denver. This was a game that was all over the place. It started out with Denver going up like 21-0 or something at halftime, and then Washington marched back and got up 34-21, and then all of a sudden here comes Russell Wilson getting 2 touchdowns in like the last 5 minutes, and they had to get a 2-point conversion to tie the game and send it to the third overtime of the weekend. Muffs it, fucking incomplete pass, and they end up losing the game. Fucking the Broncos are that team that's easy to shit on right now. I don't think Russell Wilson and Sean Payton are on the same page, but they at least made it look good this week to an extent. So, for most of the game.
Yeah.
Fuck Denver, dude. Can we talk about how good Washington's looked?
Yeah,
like Sam Howell.
Let's talk about Sam Howell. Yes. Let's go, Solzy.
Like that's
take it over.
Eric Bieniemy is cooking in Washington. Mm-hmm. I underestimated him because I thought he was a product of being carried by Andy Reid. I will take my loss where it is. Bieniemy's got Sam Howell dealing.
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks.
I think
who is it? Jahan Dotson, is that right?
Yeah, he's on my team.
What's his it? Terry McLaurin?
See, I knew I had a good player when Sigmund tried to trade me Zeke Elliott for Jahan Dotson. I was like,
yeah.
No,
your roster's already
he tried to get Keenan Allen off me for
right.
fucking Ezekiel Elliott when fucking I lost J.K. Dobbins. He's a little schemer, bro. Fucking, he's playing good though.
So what's he do for work? Is he like in front of the computer at work?
He's an engineer.
Okay, so
no, actually, he works his ass off. He usually can't even respond to me during the day. So,
well, I'm saying like he's probably around a computer more.
Dude, fucking all Sigmund does is sports. Like since college football has started,
so
I've been with him. Yeah,
that's why I was about to say this. This is why fantasy is fucking stupid for people like me who are like out working in the field, like at different houses and shit, where I might not even have service, because I was number 1 in the waiver wire, and I tried to pick up Puka, but it already went by. So fucking
Wait,
Sigmund got
when
it.
Yeah,
did you try to pick it
Sigmund
up?
picked him up in waiver wire. I don't know how
He
it
picked
fucking
him up
happened.
like first thing Tuesday morning or Thursday morning, whenever it was. I just didn't get. I
Well,
didn't like my waiver wire thing.
Dude,
passed.
his waiver
Oh,
wire.
last
He's the top
Yeah.
scorer in the league right now, so he was way far back on the waiver wire. But no one picked Puka up. I had him on my list. I didn't get him. I ended up
I
getting
was going
Atwell
to,
instead.
but I literally
And
checked it like an hour late.
I needed a
Very
running
late.
back too. That's why I ended up picking up, I think, Justice Penny. And I made a couple moves on the first waiver wire, but I just needed someone to fucking fill in because I had no running backs. But
Yeah.
anyway.
But that's
yeah.
why I hate fantasy.
Yeah. Also, I think it's Robinson Jr. is the running back for Washington. I think he was like the third biggest scorer of the fantasy last week.
Brian Robinson. He's the one that got shot 3 times last year, right?
Wish death on me.
Is that-
no,
yeah,
I
he's
don't
singing
cry
Many
no
Men, so
more.
probably.
Don't wish to the sky no more. Yeah, when he came back from being shot, he literally came out
That's what
to
it
the
was. He
game
did
To Many
that.
Men.
from
yeah.
Many Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from that one, we have Miami at New England. New England has spurts of looking like the old New England they might be, but I think that Miami was just a little bit too good for them. They're not the same without Brady, and I don't think they're going anywhere. Mac Jones has looked better this year, but he's still not there. You guys got anything to say about that one? We can kind of skim over that one.
I feel good about 6 wins. I picked them for 6 wins. That's all I
I
gotta say.
agree. They're the type of team. They're coached really well. Bill O'Brien's obviously boosting their offense, but even with Brady, I don't think they'd be a Super Bowl threat. That's why he left there. They don't have the talent. They just don't. They're good enough to hang around. They will rip off some wins. I mean, but they just don't have the talent. When it comes down to it, they don't have the horses. Simple as that. And the Dolphins are not only the fastest team in the league, but they are well coached.
Yeah, they're very
well coached. He's not sitting around. You know, I'm not even going to touch on that. We might get back to it, but he's not like Tyreek Taylor's better than you, or Tyreek Hill's better than you. He's going to do it. It's like, I'm going to make it to where you can't be ready for what he's about to do.
Actually, fucking New England's corner shut down Tyreek this last week, and he's looking like the best corner in the league so far.
Well,
I
they
can't remember
also
his
did
name.
what they should do. They played a zone to take Tyreek away. That was their whole goal.
Yeah.
Beat me elsewhere.
they
and
bracketed
that's
the
what
shit
the
out of
Dolphins did.
Yeah,
that's
they
what
did, and they
were
did
doing.
it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the Dolphins.
I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah. But moving on from that one, we're going to go to New England and Carolina, or New Orleans and Carolina. Sorry.
Nolans.
Yeah, this was a game that you kind of highlighted it in the group chat, Jack, but me and Stolzy were both like, nah, not really. It looked closer than it was. New Orleans has a very good defense, probably one of the top defenses in the league, in the NFC. Carolina just doesn't look good. Brees is not fucking the guy that everyone thinks he is, and I've been saying it forever. And Carr looked good, but at the end of this whole thing, Carolina got a garbage town touchdown because New Orleans was literally just letting them throw fucking out routes all the way down the field. It was like a 40-second drive, and fucking they stopped the clock every time and just got a touchdown. They should have never fucking let them do that. Defense played so good into that one fucking drive. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys want to comment anything on it. I know Jack was saying.
I just think that when Kamara comes back, that team has the potential to be a lot better than I thought, especially if, and I think this is the case, their defense is great, probably a top 5 unit, honestly, and they've been playing together for a long time. But if their offense starts coming along, because offense does take longer, they've got a new quarterback, you know, all these things, if they start to gel with the potential that Kamara gives them, I think the Saints can be more dangerous than I give them credit for. And it's in my opinion, it's going to be them or the Falcons in the South, and the Saints are the more complete team, potentially.
I like Carr with the New Orleans. I know that we were talking about the Garoppolo move or whatever was kind of like a lateral move, but I think he's going to do like a lot better at the Saints than Garoppolo will do at the Raiders. He just looked pretty good. I'm a big fan of him, and I think he was like the 4th leading passer in his first 9 years. I think I saw that
think
statistic.
Carr's a better quarterback than Garoppolo, hands down.
Yeah.
If you're talking about talent, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, every quarterback makes ridiculous throws, and Carr does that. People just don't like Carr for, I don't know. He's always got that scowl on his face. He's never smiling. Yeah. So just people don't like him. Yeah. But
all right. Now let's move into a divisional game, and personally, my game of the week. I think I've said that 3 times this episode, but the Steelers versus Cleveland. First of all, I hope to God I mean, even though he's a Cleveland guy and he's an absolute monster against our defense, and it kind of sucks for us, I hope the best for Nick Chubb, because that was an injury that I don't know if he's necessarily going to come back the same. He's definitely out for the year. That's already been announced. I just hope it's the same leg from 2015, and I hope to God that he can get back, because he's really fun to fucking watch. Outside of that, this game was just a straight fucking dogfight.
It's AFC North.
Yeah, AFC North. And like, I was going to get to that here in a second, that when it comes down to it, these AFC North games, like out of all the matchups or whatever, Ravens and Bengals don't necessarily have it, but you get the Bengals, Cleveland, or fucking the Steelers matched up in any type of three ways. It is by far the most violent looking games in the NFL, and there's no one who can convince me any different. It just, like, the game was crazy. It was fucking nuts. So, yeah, I mean, take it away, someone. What are we thinking here?
Kenny Pickett stinks.
He does.
George Pickens is really.
So does Watson.
George Pickens is really good.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson stinks. Both teams have fucking ridiculous edge rushers. Mm-hmm. And Cleveland's secondary is really, really good.
Yeah. Cleveland's defense.
Really good.
Cleveland's defense is good. So I mean, the poor Steelers, as weird as that is to sound, they had to go up against two very good fucking defenses week 1 and 2, but they ended up pulling it out. Their defense. Okay, I gotta just go ahead and say it. I was up 104 to 65 or something like that in this game. It was a 35-point swing that Tibbs needed on me, and I texted him before the game because he was talking about his running back from Carolina who was also playing, Sanders. He was like, if I need him to have a big game and I might have this. I was like, to be honest with you, AFC North matchup, I would not be surprised if Pittsburgh fucking ends up putting you in this game. And the opening play, pick 6, they have fucking 17 points. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? They recovered a fucking fumble on a review that we thought they were marking the spot, and they just overturned the ball to the fucking Steelers. Then got another fumble for a return of 6 in the later game. I was like, this is crazy. The fucking Pittsburgh's D-line went absolutely after the fucking the Browns. I thought the Browns looked really good when Chubb was in. Of course, you're not going to stop Chubb. But the second he went out, they just kind of looked demoralized. So
no, I thought the Browns were going to win that game the entire time up until Chubb went out.
Their backup running back did good.
He's a Bearcat.
He's fine.
He did
him forward.
He did really
put
good.
Up like 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he's number 1 on the waiver wire. I really need him, but I don't think I'm going to get him. But yeah, no.
Yeah, he did. The reason they lost is Deshaun Watson. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Not only
he
fumbled once, right? Yeah. Fumbled once for 6. Threw the pick.
He can't scramble anymore.
The pick was a tip ball, but it was
penalties.
His fault.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
What was that?
He had 30 yards in penalties.
Oh, so the pick was a tip ball off of the receiver's hands, but that was a bad wide throw by Deshaun Watson. Okay. Like that was his interception.
Yeah, continue.
And he had 30 yards in penalties from grabbing a face mask of a defender and throwing him to the ground.
Yeah.
Twice in 2 drives when the game was on the line, he did that dumb shit.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look the same.
No, he doesn't.
He just doesn't look the same.
And like he used to be a running quarterback, and he got some legs a little bit, but for the most part, like they were coming at him. Like at some point, stop trying to rush away, throw the fucking ball away. Like
right.
Quit trying to make a play. You know that these fucking edges are not going to let you do it. So I mean, I don't know what it was. It was a hell of a fucking football game to watch. I wish both teams would have lost, but it is what it is. So,
right.
The team we needed to win won. That's what matters.
Pittsburgh.
Well, let's get after the last game.